yesterday is I was watching, I don't know, scrolling through probably Facebook, and I saw some reel, I think from the dad advice from Bo, and he was mentioning about how Father's Day is coming up and that this would be a really good gift, and he showed this like bucket that was filled with car washing supplies, so car washing soap and wax and wheel brightener and whatever else, which is very nice and all fit in the bucket. And I was like, oh yeah, Father's Day, that's gonna be coming up soon. So check the calendar and it's this coming Sunday. So I'm like, oh, okay, so I have to get out and get a card and think of something. I'm not good at thinking about gifts. I don't know. I don't feel I am anyways. So then it's a matter of, all right, what can I do? What should I get? I gotta go out. When am I gonna go out? And today I had other things that I thought I was gonna be doing, but tomorrow's supposed to rain all day. So anyways, we'll figure out something. I usually get pistachio nuts for him because one, it's one of the things that he likes. Two, it's food, it can be eaten because he's got enough t-shirts, he's got enough clothes, don't need anything else. Like the car washing bucket type stuff, I'm like, that'd be for me. I like to wash the cars by myself. Granted, he has, last year he did a couple times. He washed a couple of the cars up on the side of the house. We have one hose up on the side. We have a hose in our garage, but I guess the garage hose is leaking or something. And I was going to have a plumber fix it the one time. They were there for something else, but they couldn't fix it while they were there. They had to make another stop back, and I was supposed to call the office and arrange something. And as far as payment and goodness gracious, there's a whole lot of closed stuff here. They're doing some road work. Wow, already. Anyways, car washing. Yeah, so I usually wash the cars every summer, but I use the hose in the garage. But we'll have to see if I can get that going again this next year, or this summer. Even if we just turn it on while I, wash it once and have to turn it back off again or whatever. We'll figure it out. So that's that. In the meantime, I'm also giving Mandy's car a drive because it needs to be driven. We're having to park that at my mom's house right now also. Not right outside our door, which is more convenient, but that's okay, but that's why I'm in a different car. I don't have a handrest. Arm's getting tired. Did my exercising this morning. It was weights, a lot of weights was doing, walking, but so the shoulders start hurting. Anyways, that's about it. And I was going to make Bowtie pasta dinner. Like I said, I think I mentioned that one before. I have the zucchini for that. So hopefully the zucchini is still good because again, it's Wednesday. Should be fine. I forgot about that I was going to make that yesterday, or I kept thinking I had to record, and I'm like, wait, no, I'm recording a different dinner, not this one. This one's just a dinner for us to have. But yesterday Wayne had to go to the dentist anyways. He had a cracked cap, so he had to have that replaced. That went well, thank goodness, but still he came home, he was a little bit numb. So he just kind of snacked a little bit for dinner. So I thought, okay, well today, so that's been my thing. Like I said, 1:30ish. Normally I like to be out and home before then. I like to get out by 11 a.m. I want to be home before 2 p.m. because by 2 p.m. is when traffic starts to get a little bit heavier. People, the kids are getting out of school and things like that, but it is what it is. Like I said, it was a matter of either I go now or I go tomorrow when it's raining, and I'd rather go in the sun even though it's 80. So let's see what we find at the store. Mandy's keys have some cute little tchotchkes on them, but that makes it hard to put in the pocket. Alright. They have shorts here, and I know Wayne's khaki shorts are kind of tattered and all that, so I could get him a new pair. I looked all over to see if I had his numbers in my phone, and I don't, so I need to update that when I get home. But I'm pretty sure this will be his size. But normally like 34, they're on sale for 13, so that's a win. And then I know his work socks keep getting holy and keeps throwing them out. And these are also on sale. Buy one, get one 25% off. So I figured, well, these have some cute designs. So I'll get these two. So there's little polka dots and stripes. And then I found a card. So I will go find some pistachio nuts and I will be ready. Alright, here are the nuts. We have roasted and salted, lightly salted, honey roasted, chili roasted, barbecue. I know he does not like barbecue. We have salt and pepper, and sea salt and vinegar. I'm going with those three because I know those are some that he likes. Woohoo! Only 2:30. So that only took me an hour. Excellent. Time to make my way home. Happy that I found what I did. You know, Wayne's always very good about getting me something for all of the holidays, and you know, even the year that I was sick, and I felt bad I couldn't get him anything because I wasn't getting out of the house at all. And I think again, he's like, but that's okay, no problem. But even for Mother's Day again this year, he got me a very nice card and some chocolate, and so I'm like, okay, I got to make sure that I get out and pick up something for him. So happy I found some items that are needed, and then of course having some nuts, which is always appreciative to have a good snack in the house. So that's it. Now it's hot. Yeah, I got to figure out this car when it needs an oil change. There is an oil change sticker in the window, but it just says that the last date it was serviced on. It doesn't say mileage. So, oh, there is miles. Never mind. Well, I guess that's what I get for trying to read it while I was driving. Excellent, there are miles. So I was going to say, I'll have to find her paperwork because she just likes to put everything in her glove box or something. Even though I told him, like, we have a nice folder for her. She has a nice little bin that has, like, important paperwork. I'm like, and we have a car folder. I'm like, so every time you get your oil change, like, put it in the car folder so that you have that paperwork. But, well, that's good to know because date-wise, it's due for an oil change, but mile-wise, we'll see because obviously, again, it hasn't been driven a whole heck of a lot in the last 6 months. Can't believe she's been gone that long. And just not coming home for another 8. So it's gonna be a long time. But her sister will be home. And Cassie will probably be driving this car then, going to work and back. Seeing as it's summer and all that. This car is good for that. Anyways, I'm gonna start sweating, so time to get going. My parsley's finally sprouting. Just a few, but we're getting there. Basil's doing really well. Here we go. Bowtie pasta with our zucchini and tomatoes for dinner tonight. Yummy. Taking our walk and I see a little silkworm hanging. Just hanging, doing his thing. Decided to check my pots here after our walk, and that one's dug in a little bit, but this one, man, there's dirt all over the ground. He dug it out. So this is my pansy seed pot. So I'm going to assume I'm not getting pansies this year. That one was peppers, and it's not gonna probably be growing those either. We'll see. If there's still enough that could be done surface. And then over here, he had been kind of digging behind this plant in this area. And I fixed that up, so now he's got it all dug up all over there. Maybe Wayne just said just let it go and see what happens for tomorrow. So like I said, tomorrow should rain all day, so I'm not going to water this or anything. It'll be good enough. It's wet enough for the moment. Silly squirrel. Too funny. I straightened this out last night and it's all a mess again today. That one had a little bit, but so I don't even see the seeds in here or anything, so we'll see if there's anything in here at this point, if anything's gonna grow. Right. And then I think this is funny that they left me peanut shells this time. So if that is what he's burying or not, but I got peanut shell there and there and there. Funny. So I left that spot alone. Looks like he left it alone too, but I see Doug over there, and now I'm seeing the base of that plant too. Silly goose, he didn't dig up the actual plant, but there's a big hole back there. I just finished my exercising and figured I would come check the garden before changing my clothes and having breakfast. So I wasn't going to film, but then I found the peanut shells, and I thought, well, I gotta show you guys that I was actually left peanut shells this time. So that's funny. I'm glad I came out here too, because from in the house I couldn't see that near the bean plant it was dug up. I could tell it looked like it was dug up around the outside of tomatoes a little bit, and it looked like the pot was messed up again. And I did see the chipmunk this morning on the rock across the way, and I tried to watch to see if he was going to jump in the pot or not. So if it's him doing that, so I don't know. We'll see. get to have the challenge of 2 critters this summer. I just noticed this plant is coming back too. This one he had broken off of the main plant from back there, but it still had roots on it. So I planted it again. It was still looking kind of dead yesterday, but we had a bunch of rain last night. So it is perked up. Ooh, maybe it'll make it. It was supposed to rain all day today. I was actually looking forward to that. I guess 1, figuring that the garden would be left alone, and 2, it would be nice if we had, a thunderstorm while I was awake. To just enjoy it and appreciate it. It started thundering at 10 o'clock last night, 10:30, and we were heading up to, Wayne headed up to bed. I headed up to bed by 11:30, and then it was done. The rain had even stopped. And we're like, okay, fine. The skies are, well, they're cloudy now. They're fairly blue this morning. I still see some blue over that way, but I don't know. I'll have to check the forecast, see if we're gonna have any more rain today or not. Either way, that's fine. I'll get my walk in this way if it's not raining, but I could still use a day of rain. As you can see, my basil seeds are growing, so every morning, sometimes twice a day, then I turn them so that they can grow towards the light. And my parsley is growing now too, so I've got a whole lot of them. Yay! So same, we'll turn those so they grow towards the light also. Okay, I have 2 more bananas that are turning. I had those 4 bananas left. They all basically turned. I made a smoothie yesterday and figured I'd be making another one today because, once again, the bananas are ready to be eaten. So this is how I normally make one. I just did a video on making a peanut butter banana smoothie. But of course, for a real video, I measure things and make it a little bit nicer. But in real life, this is how I make a smoothie. Is I just pour the ingredients on there, kind of to my liking, kind of just eyeing it up, right? We all have probably recipes like that. Peanut butter, I get almond butter or a different type of butter every once in a while, but I don't really care for just almond butter on, I don't know, toast, on whatever. I can taste it, so usually I combine it with the regular peanut butter. So usually, again, I'll do regular peanut butter first, just because then if the regular peanut butter gets in the almond butter, I don't care as much. But the real peanut butter, I don't mind. But same, I still just do a couple knifelfuls. And get the peanut butter in that way. That way you still have a little bit of this almond butter taste. But again, there's still more regular peanut butter. So, obviously again, options. Kind of what I said in the other video, although I don't think I didn't say about all the options. I don't know. For me, when I see a recipe, it's kind of like, okay, yeah, I like some of those ingredients, most of those ingredients, or I could leave this out, or I could add this in, and it makes sense to me. Like, again, if I'm doing a smoothie recipe and I say peanut butter, that's kind of like, okay, well, whatever peanut butter. You don't have to absolutely use this peanut butter. But you can use any nut butter. Maybe if you're allergic to nuts, you can use a sunflower seed butter, or, you know, whatever you have in the house that you can use. Yogurt, same. I prefer to go dairy-free, so I use a dairy-free yogurt. Obviously, you can use, you know, regular yogurt. You can use, you know, vanilla. You can do plain. You can do Greek. There's a channel that I got recommended a while back. I'm trying to think. It may have even just been Instagram. I think they have a YouTube channel also called Minimalist Baker. And she was a vegetarian channel. So one of the kiddos that I'd had at daycare had lots of allergies. I know he was allergic to strawberries. What else? I'm trying to forget. I don't think he was allergic to chicken, but may have been like some type of a wheat. Because I know as he got older, I think it was the wheat allergy kind of went away, and Mom was so happy because she could finally feed him like chicken nuggets that he'd be okay. So Mom was vegetarian, and then the daughter went vegetarian, and I know the husband and then the son ate meat. I don't know if that ever changed up. But in any case, so she had that channel, the Minimalist Baker. That she was vegetarian. And at some point, this gal ended up starting to add chicken and stuff to her recipes. I think it was just chicken. I don't remember if I recall seeing other meat. She added fish maybe. And then some people in the comments got really upset with her. They're like, I used to be able to count on you to be a vegetarian channel, and now you're adding all this extra stuff, and you're adding meat. And I'm thinking, okay, so the recipes she's adding meat to are still awesome recipes, and don't add the meat. Again, you can still trust her as a channel for good recipes, and for tasty food, I'm gonna just make it the way you want to make it, you know? It's like if a recipe has like mushrooms or something in there, sometimes I don't add mushrooms. I don't care for mushrooms, you know, but sometimes if I cut them up really small enough or whatever, but I mean, there's stuff like that I have black olives. I'll eat pizza with black olives, I pick the black olives off. It's, you know, I can still have the pizza, I can still do, you know, whatever. So I found that interesting. And then she said on there too, she put a disclaimer, or not disclaimer, she had commented about how for health reasons, like she'd seen her doctor, and they came up with that she needed to add some meat back in. And so there too, it's like, you know, she has lists on, if you go on her channel, her website, a lot of times the like the YouTube channels or whatever list back to a website that you can get the recipe from. And so when you go there, you can look up different options. You can look up, you know, vegetarian. You can look up, probably chicken. You can look up, you know, whatever recipes that you may want to find. But I just find that funny. So again, like with smoothies, if you don't have, you know, amla powder, then you don't add it. This is a goofy ingredient. Not everybody's gonna have that, so you don't. Or again, when I make stuff, you know, my flaxseed, the chia seeds, you know, you don't need to add those. I just like to add extras because I can. Get as much as I can in my system. Wheat germ. I bought this for some recipe I made. And then it's like, okay, well now I have this ingredient sitting around. What am I gonna do with it? What am I gonna add it to? Because I'd like to use it up. So put it in a smoothie, put it in a salad. You know, extra things that you can add. Options, right? Do what you need to do for you to make a recipe work for you. That's kind of about my whole channel and all that too. I look for recipes that I think look nice, that look like I would eat it, that look like they have ingredients that I would like. Sometimes there are ingredients in there that I don't like, so I change up the recipe to make it for me. So again, yeah. So next, you see too, I kind of have my little coloring sheet up already. I've got my beans out. It was, you know, the one recipe too there. Well, second recipe. I knew I was gonna make the smoothie recipe. I did, and make the bean recipe, which I thought I would do yesterday, but yesterday I was caught up in other things and busy, so gotta make that one today. So I'm figuring gotta make some breakfast because it's noon. Finished my exercising, did a little bit of a couple other things, and now I'm like, all right, I need to shower, get myself ready to do this other video. So I'm gonna have some breakfast in between so that I'm not starving, because if this other one takes a little bit of time, then I'm not eating breakfast till like, you know, 2 or 3 o'clock, which is lunchtime. Which I'm still gonna be not really hungry for lunch at lunchtime, but in any case, that's all right. I figured hopefully if I make this other recipe, it'll be kind of a bit later. It'll be more dinner time, so there too, when Wayne comes home, it'll still be warm enough for him, or we can heat it up, because again, this recipe also has options. In any case, there we go. That's how I make a smoothie. I just, you know, dump ingredients in, which I'm sure most of you guys do too. But anyways, time to mix. I'm seeing this, I'm like, this is really light. Usually it's darker than that, cause dun dun dun, cocoa powder, cause I like it chocolatey. Still get it all over the counter. So let's put the lid back on. Okay, try that again. Sometimes I have the peanut butter stick to the side. Looks like now I have yogurt sticking to the side. I will use my cute Bon Jovi cup that I got at the last Bon Jovi concert I went to. Put it in the dishwasher, so some of it scraped off. So be it. Gets used. It was supposed to rain all day yesterday. It did not. It had rained overnight. The night before. So the garden was still wet enough in the morning, so that was all right. I didn't have to putz. But I was actually looking forward to a day of rain. I put that in our family chat, and my younger daughter Cassie was all like, "What are you, me?" She likes rainy days. She loves the smell of rain, and granted, she doesn't care to walk in it so much, or, you know, step in puddles, but if she doesn't have to work or go to school, or whatever, she's home, she's like, "Ooh, rain." I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I was kind of looking forward to rain, so there too. I thought, well, I wouldn't have to putz in the garden, or because, yeah, they still dug up a little bit in the garden, and I had to fix it. But again, plants are pretty good. They, I don't know if it's a squirrel, whether it's a chipmunk now or whatever, had dug up a little bit behind the one bean plant. But I got that fixed, so hopefully that is okay for now. So there we go. Chocolate, peanut butter, banana smoothie. Say the 3 ingredients, not 2. I mess it up again. Cheers. So tasty, delicious. Now I'm out of protein powder too. Out of my hemp seeds, I'm low on flax or on chia seeds. So add that to the grocery list. One other thing I forgot to mention was that I did 25 jumping jacks in my morning exercise routine this morning. Woo! It was one of those that you could kind of run in place, so I did that for, you know, one of the sessions, because there was like 3 rounds of exercises, so I did that. And then the second one, I did like 10 jumping jacks, and then the third one, I did 25. So I'm like, first time. So as much as I get sad about my exercising and I can't do moves that I feel like I should be able to do, or some moves are hard or they hurt, today is a win that I can do some jumping jacks again. So yay, thought I'd share. Happy Monday, weekend wrap-up time. Yesterday was Father's Day, so I hope you all had a good Father's Day weekend. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Father figures, all the types of fathers, whether they're even fathers of pets. I usually say furry children, just because I guess I always think of cats and dogs. And then I was thinking, you know, there are like lizards out there that are pets, or pigs are pets, and they're not really furry per se, so I guess. So anyways, I've got to edit that a little bit of saying, you know, yeah, fathers of pets, because, you know, that works too. In any case, we did a little celebration on Saturday, because we always go by my mom's on Saturday, and figured out that she was asking if we were going to do like hamburgers or anything. So we don't use our grill anymore because of, again, that our city came up with the law that you can't have your grill within 25 feet of your unit or something like that if you are in a multi-unit dwelling. So my sister-in-law got us a little tabletop grill, and we've used that, and that works wonderfully. And so we thought of too, like, oh, we could take that outside and we can grill on that if we'd like. But we thought, you know what, we haven't had Culver's in a long time, and their hamburgers are more flavorful than what we would make, and stuff like that. Then I don't have to worry about sides, and so brought that up to Mom if she would like Culver's, and she said, oh, yep, yes, please, that would be good. She likes to have her Reuben sandwich. So we get that, like, I don't know, once every 2 months-ish or so, get a little treat that way. So that was good. I know Wayne had a mushroom burger. I had some chicken strips and some fries. So that was very nice. We all sat together and ate and then did our normal stuff. But to have a little bit of a celebration that way. And then yesterday we talked to the girls. So that was nice too. They were kind of cute. They thought it was a day ahead of time. They were like, oh, happy early Father's Day. And Wayne was all like, no, today is Sunday too for us. So it's still today. It's not early. Oh, okay. But that was good. They remembered. I was thinking I was going to remind them and stuff, and I thought, well, I don't know, because again, I don't know as though their phones give them any notification of what day it was. Obviously, if they're scrolling through stuff, that may come up with, yeah, it's Father's Day. Because again, in Korea, I don't know if they have a Father's Day. If they do Father's Day, Mother's Day, I know they have a Children's Day. I'll have to look that up. But in any case, obviously, if they're not, celebrating there, or different holidays are celebrated on different days in different areas, like, Canada has a different Thanksgiving than we do in America, so stuff like that. But so it was nice. They remembered. They wished him Happy Father's Day too. So that was good. Other than that, the girls are doing well. Mandy went with some friends on Saturday into Seoul, and they marched in a parade, so they're kind of, excited about that. And then they went out and did some bar hopping and stayed out all day. So that was kind of funny too. They were supposed to do that, like I said, I think last weekend. And then one or both of the other girl teachers were sick. And so they got to do that this past weekend, which worked out well because last weekend, Mandy had the concert anyways. Mandy and Cassie went to the concert, and so Mandy didn't want to be going out and then not feeling well the next day and stuff like that. So this all worked out well. So she had a good day. And then Sunday morning, and that Cassie decided to be brave, and she went and got her hair colored there. So went to the salon and got it bleached and got the coloring done. So that took a good 3-4 hours. She was kind of normal, she's like, Mom, you're a professional. That's just like what you do. It only takes you that long. But this way, yep, it was professionally done and it looks gorgeous. And it was half the cost, if not even less than that, than what it would be here. I think she said it ended up only being, what did I figure out? $110 there, something like that. Whereas here it runs like $300 plus you give a tip on top of that. Over in Korea, they don't do tipping. They kind of look at that as an insult, that if you get at least a monetary tip, that it's like they're not earning enough money, that they don't have a living wage. They do accept cookies and stuff though. Just like with Mandy being a teacher. She's not supposed to accept gift cards even, which that I find unusual, but they kind of also think that is bribery to, if you get, again, the monetary stuff, if you get gift cards and all that, it's kind of like that you'll, accept my child into whatever program, or, that type of thing, like, view favorably on their child, but they can give like donuts and breads and cookies, little wafers. One of Mandy's students had gone last weekend when they had those days off. They had the holidays. Her student went to Jeju Island. So how Korea is, there's an island at the base of Korea, and they're known for their oranges, tangerines. I think it's oranges. And so they brought back Mandy a little treat, and it was like wafer cookies that had the orange cream filling in there and stuff. I was like, oh, that sounds so good. Like, I would like that. So that was very nice. And the little girl wrote Mandy a cute little note. So that also was nice, and said that she was excited to tell Mandy that it was a yellow card because she knows Mandy likes yellow. And so I told Mandy, I'm like, see, you're making a difference. You're making an impression on these kids. You know, they know you care. So that's very sweet. So anyways, yep, they're having it hot over there. It's been 80 to 90 degrees. And I saw Cassie had her umbrella again the other day, and she was like, yeah, it's also monsoon season. So that it's raining a lot, and they have mosquitoes there. And she was saying about how they're bigger than they are here. They're probably more like, I don't know, the size of your thumbnail or that type of thing. She goes, they're big. I'm like, well, like, easier to spot them than I guess that. So she's been getting multiple mosquito bites over there. Looked it up. She's got like the type of blood I think that the mosquitoes like. So it's kind of funny that they find her. But anyway, so yeah, that's their update. So they're doing well. Other than that, as you can see, this video is pretty much a lot of just life. Nothing's been going on. It's been a low-key kind of week. I did do a little bit of shopping for the Father's Day. We had Father's Day. A lot of gardening, shenanigans. So, yep, every day, twice a day, we're back to, I'm out there and covering up the holes. The cages aren't really blocking them off as much anymore from under the plant, or getting to the plants. They're kind of getting under there a little bit and digging up near the plant. But they have not dug any plant up yet. So at least that's good. So I just go out there, yep, every day, straight in the dirt. The other day, Wayne looked out there and he saw 2 squirrels that went into the garden, and then one kind of hopped out right away. And then so I went over and looked, and the one, you know, kind of went around the fence, and that one was just kind of rooting his way down near one of my pepper plants. He got his nose way in the dirt. So I just started opening up the door, and then he kind of was like, oh, you're watching me? Okay. And then he hopped around the fence. So too cute. Like I said, so far so good. And then I'm taking our walks. We saw a baby bunny again the other day. We saw one like late last week, and then we hadn't seen it again. And it was like, oh, you know, what happened? Are you okay? Because again, we have hawks in the area. I know we usually hear an owl in the woods across the street. We saw an eagle that one day. So whether they're kind of in the area, we have the coyotes. Did hear from one of the neighbors that I guess there was a coyote in our little courtyard area last week some point. They're like, yeah, did you hear all the commotion? The coyote was trying to get a fawn or something or other or whatever, and it was like, nope. And supposedly it was like 5 o'clock p.m. or whatever. I'm like, so I don't know if Wayne came home at that time or whatever, or if I heard anything. I think I thought it was just kids yelling, having a good time, because we have a pool and we usually hear the kids in the pool. And it's just kind of like, okay, well that I didn't hear. I'm like, we also had a light pole that needed replacing across the street, and that I heard. I heard the trucks. I heard a weird noise. It was almost like a street sweeper type of noise, whatever. And I'm like, oh, what's going on? You know, I look outside. I'm like, oh, there's a truck over there. They're probably working on the pole, but then the pole wasn't up. And I was like, okay. And then the next day, I heard some noise again. I heard truck type noises or whatever, and I was like, And I look outside as I open the blinds, and I'm looking like, oh yeah, there's 2 city trucks out there, and they're putting the pole up. That I heard. That I took as something distinctly different than yelling. Like happy, I don't know, it's like happy yelling, but. So in any case, we've seen a baby bunny, and we saw him again yesterday when we walked. So that was exciting that it was still around, because again, we haven't had bunnies here in years. We used to have a lot of bunnies. And like I said, then we kind of saw the coyotes had moved in or whatever, and then haven't seen the deer. So I was surprised about that too. Haven't seen deer in a while. But other than that, we had some, there's another type of flowers that are blooming. One of the neighbors has. I was going to look them up, and I forget what they are. They're one big flowering head. I'll have to look it up and put the name up here. Up there. I know the ants like those type of flowers. I know my neighbor, back from where I grew up, my neighbor across the street had her, like, backyardish area lined with those type of flowers. And she'd always say, yeah, you can cut some, take some home with you, put them in a vase or whatever. So my mom loved that. And we'll cut some of the flowers and put them in a vase. And then all of a sudden you'd see the black ants like dropping off of them and crawling on our counters. It was like, oh yeah, the ants like those flowers. But they're very pretty and they'll bloom. So I thought, okay, we'll see how long they're going to be flowering. If it's like flowering trees, if it's going to last only a week or two. Same with the lilac trees. Got a couple lilac trees behind us, and same. They bloomed for that week. They were done. They always smell so good. Other than that, I believe that's it. What else? Looking at my little notes that I wrote. I've been showing you, I already showed you the basil and the parsley. So I've been turning those a couple times per day because they really like, they grow towards the light, and then I turn them, and then, you know, I come walking through the room an hour or two later, and again, they're like growing towards the light. I'm like, all right, so I turn them so they can try to grow more strong, growing upward. I put some in my scrambled eggs yesterday. I actually cut a few of the basil tips off and a few of the parsley, and I put that in there, and I'm like, we'll see if I can taste it, do whatever. But I did. I could taste it actually when my bites. So I was like, oh, excellent, okay. It'd be better, I suppose, if I could wait a little longer. Maybe they could kind of go to seed a little bit or something, that some of them could then reseed themselves, and maybe I'd have more. Otherwise, maybe I'll have to keep my eye open for more seeds and buy some more. So if I use this up, I'll plant some more. So that worked out well. And then I had mentioned to Wayne that there's another channel, a YouTube channel that I watch called The Baking Diva. And she's been taste testing Oreos lately, newer ones that have come out. So Post Malone, there were some Post Malone Oreos that were out, and she tasted those. I think there was a pretzel Oreo, and she tasted those. And then the other day she had some Selena Gomez Oreos. So those, I guess, just came out this week. I didn't see them in the store this weekend. I thought maybe, and then I was thinking, I'm like, oh, you know, they had some peanut butter and jelly Oreos. I tried those. And then as we were shopping Saturday, I was thinking, like, it wasn't Oreos, it was Reese's peanut butter cups. And so as we were ready to check out, Wayne's like, oh, hey, I saw those, the jelly ones in that on the end cap. And I'm like, what, where? And so he went and he grabbed them. And so there are two different types. There is a grape jelly and a strawberry jelly. So he was like, oh, do you want both of them? You want to try them? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So I'm like, I'm glad they're in single packages. Like, I don't need a whole, you know, box sleeve them like what Oreos come in, or whatever, even with Reese's peanut butter cups, if they come in, you know, a box of a bunch of these. I'm like, I just try one. Because one, again, I'm trying not to eat too much sugar. If I'm, like I said, I'll have a handful of dark chocolate chips if I want something sweet. Or, that's about it, yeah, or have some of the dark chocolate, like orange flavored, like chocolate bar. We'll get those once in a while. Because I know, you know, one, I'm just trying to eat healthier and cut down on sugar, and two, these types of things are like, they're so good, I'm just going to eat them all. So I try not to have them in the house. Anyways, battery's flashing. Let me change that, and then we'll taste these and see what we see. Okay, so yeah, that's my thing about the Oreos. I would like to try the Oreos and have the different, the flavors and all that, but Oreos is one of those snacks where it's kind of like you can't have just one. Just like the Lay's potato chips. It's like, nah. I will then start eating all the Oreos, and although Wayne likes those too. So again, at least he would help. The girls aren't here to help. Cassie does not like Oreos. Mandy does. But oh, that's the other thing. It's finals week for Cassie. She only has a little bit of time left. And while we were online and mentioning that, yeah, Cassie, it's finals week, and so is it. Cassie only has a little bit of time left, and she was like, yep, so many days. And so Mandy smacked her. It's like hit her with a hand on her because they were together. Because it's finals week and Cassie will be coming home soon. Mandy has a bunch of things that she's bought over there also that, seeing that Cassie's going to send a box home for all the things that she's bought. And so she went to Mandy's to go pick up a bunch of items of Mandy's that she can also send home. So that was very nice that for our talk yesterday, those two were together. So after Cassie got her hair colored, she went over by Mandy and they had dinner together. And then we did our talking. But that was cute, like I said. Yeah, Cassie's kind of on the countdown of so many days. And Mandy's just like, no. So it's very nice. I love that, you know, they're having such a good time together, and that, you know, Mandy likes having Cassie there. And I told Cassie, I'm like, well, you could find a job there and teach at, like, where your sister's teaching. And she was like, oh, they don't have an opening. And she was, what am I going to do? Be a tadpole supervisor? For one of Mandy's science classes, they learned about tadpoles and turning into frogs. And so they actually got some tadpoles in their classroom. So I guess there's one for each student. So there's like 5 of them, and only one for Mandy. So the 4 girls and then her. And Mandy's like, oh, I hope to God none of them die. And Wayne was like, yeah, especially seeing as the kids named all their tadpoles their names. So I'd be like, oh, so-and-so died. I'm like, who thought that was a good idea? But anyways, so that's kind of cute too that they have that. But yeah, it's all right. Mandy's made, she's got her teacher's friends. She's settled into her apartment. She's settled into the area. She's got, her banking straightened out. She has her phone straightened out. She's good. So much better than, how worried we kind of were in the beginning of, how's this going? How's this going? This is how, So, all right, let's see. Grape jelly. You probably have to get way in the middle. Oh, all right. I see it. Can you see it right at the end? It's all on the side here. I thought it would be down in the middle. Okay, there's the jelly. Look, I taste the peanut butter cup. Very sweet. Woo. Interesting. Let me see if I get more jelly. That's a very sweet Reese's peanut butter cup. Yeah. These are ones too. Glad I just have these couple. Not have a whole bag of them. Well, I don't see a spot on the bottom. I was wondering if they kind of put it in from the bottom, but I watched a video one time on how these were made. And they do, obviously they have the big machinery and the huge, like almost like muffin tins, but with the minis. And of course it goes through and it puts down the wrapper part. And then it goes through the machines and it puts down the blob of chocolate. And then it goes through a puff of air machine so that the puff of air blows the chocolate all the way up the sides. And then it goes through the machine where it plops the peanut butter down. And then plops, another chocolate on top. And then it goes through a machine where it shakes it. So it kind of, levels it all out so that everything is covered. But so interesting with the jelly then too, they'd have to put a little squirt of the jelly in there and then maybe the peanut butter stuff as it was on the bottom. Oh yeah. This one's better, you can see that when I can taste that right away. There's that whole layer. Interesting. Still very sweet peanut butter cup. I like the taste of the grape jelly better. That's me. Anyways, that's about it from me. I get to go to the dentist again this week and get that covering taken out of the tooth. And I said when he took the tooth out and he put the bone graft material in, and then he put some non-dissolvable covering in there, and then he tried to stitch up the gum line on top. So the stitches came out, but the other covering was in there. He said too there should be a lot of healing going on under that. So that'll be taken out, which will be good because it seems like right now there's a piece of it kind of sticks up along my tooth on the side. And so there's a gap between this thing and my tooth, and I can see that there's like food gets caught in there sometimes. And so I've been trying to kind of, like with a toothpick type thing, like flick it out and make sure I get that out. Because I haven't brushed on there like with my toothbrush at all or anything. I'm in the shower, I open up my mouth kind of like a water pick. I think I'll like try to get the water to splash in there. Or I swish with the water and all that, but make sure that I'm keeping that area clean and good and healthy so that can heal. And then my shoulder, make sure I don't get chocolate on me. Got melted chocolate on me, Tom. I have still got the shoulder pain. I don't remember if I mentioned that yet or not, but behind, like along the shoulder blade, behind the right shoulder, I've been having some pain. So all week, started last week at some point, that's not going away. I keep thinking, I'm like, okay, you have that once in a while where you have a lot of stress and the stress builds up. Yeah, and you can't like, you know, you get to that point where you kind of like can't turn your head. You got to kind of like turn your body. So it's like driving is kind of difficult to try to back up or do, and just to have the head seize up. So it's like that kind of pain. It was more like that in the beginning. It was worse where it was going kind of up the neck a little bit. And I felt that. Now it's just like a knot. It's like a knot right along my upper shoulder blade, you know, well, it's on this side, the upper shoulder blade. I should say it's on the inside. It's on the inside of my shoulder blade. That's so I can feel it. I can, you know, I can just reach it if I use my other arm. Wayne's tried to massage it out a little bit, and that's not helping. It's not going away. So again, hopefully that'll go away soon, because I'm like, oh, hopefully it's not another bone type thing, not another side effect of chemo, or again, who knows what that all does to the body, how long those side effects last, because again, I'm over 1.5 years out of all that kind of stuff, almost 2 years out of having chemo, that it shouldn't, you know, I wouldn't think it would have any more effects, and I would think that it's all out of my system, it's all good. So this is just life, just age. It's nice to be able to blame it on something though. Anyways, so yeah, the only excitement this week is the dentist for me. Woohoo. That's okay. So that's it for me for this week. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you had some fun. Like I said, I hope it was a good weekend. I hope you're having good weather. You can get out and walk. And if anything, you're finding lots of stuff that makes you smile. So you guys, keep it positive. Go make it a great day. Bye-bye.